don't know a lot about anime. I just know.
Okay. Good start. I just
in all
start
honesty,
and I caught that. Anyway. Hello everyone. Hoodie here. With my good buddy Runon and a new guy by the name of J Panda. The reason he's here is because he's filling
What's
in
up,
for...
you weeaboo fucks?
Yeah, weeaboo fuck. Anyway, so Brownie, Raven, and John are not here. John has left the group for some reason. So that's sad. Everyone press F for John. Maybe he's dead. I don't know. Wherever he is. Anyway, so...
Press F to pay respect.
Yes, F for respect. Oh. F for respect. Anyway, so... fuck. I am just... Oh, man. Something...
You alright there, Hoodie?
No. Something feels odd. It's like something's in my throat. It's very itchy. I think it's the ham I just ate.
He still has anti-haven on. He forgot.
Why don't you drink something then?
Alright. Oh. Okay, who brought a freaking soda here? What the fuck?
Hey, excuse me, I just needed a little bit of hydration.
Man, we are
Not
getting
enough for a full-on hydration break, but... What is this echo?
J Panda, we are getting a lot of feedback from your mic, like you're echoing.
And what happened to your mic, dude?
Yeah.
What changed? Why is it echoing now?
I didn't even make noise. I didn't make noise.
No, I mean, now it's echoing is what I'm saying, dude.
Oh, what the fuck? God damn it, new phone.
Excuse me, burping.
Why don't you use your old headset you used on a PS4, or did you not bring that with you?
Cause why the fuck would I bring a headset with me when I'm walking down the freeway?
Music listening?
I feel like it's funny that we're having a podcast and this guy is on the freeway.
On the
Freeway podcast.
No, I mean, he's not on a freeway right now. It's just at the time.
And I left my headset at home with my PS4.
This is going to be the greatest podcast because not only do we have lag, but we also have echoes. Hope you all like that. Wow. Maybe I can fix that in the editing.
Where?
Maybe I can fix that in the editing.
You mean how half the time whenever you talk we can't understand you because the fact that your mic cuts out because your internet being so bad?
Yeah, I mean, F you, Usenet. F you. Usenet is bad. Anyway, so, last time we were talking about, like...
I think I might have fixed it.
Yeah, I don't hear any feedback anymore, that's good. So, last podcast we were talking about traps. I don't think we can bring that up again because we don't have enough people to argue about traps anymore. So, what should we talk about?
Traps are gay. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
How could you say such a thing, Panda?
That's just our thing.
Why are you lying to us?
That's just our thing now. That's just the thing that we bring up constantly on this podcast. It's if traps are gay, why not this?
Nah, I'd say that the thing we bring up every time on a podcast is how great of an anime SAO is.
Oh no! Stop! Stop it! Stop it! Well, since we didn't really have
SAO is a high-quality anime that was made well.
It's the best anime. What do you mean, man? Those fight scenes, I mean, ooh. The game mechanics, but clear. And then the harem, ooh.
Only one girl in the harem was good, though. That's the thing.
So, I'm gonna play a dumb game with you guys. Basically, I'm going to say an anime. Actually, no, I'm gonna say a type of food, and you have to relate that type of food with an anime, or in vice versa. Which one do you think would be easiest? Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm not that great of an aficionado on foods, so I'd say saying the name of the food would make, and me trying to describe it would probably be better than the other way around, because I'd just be throwing random words at whatever the description was until one of them stuck.
Alrighty. So let's
I know
start with this.
foods, but
Okay,
not
so
animes, so.
Steins Gate. What do you think best fits Steins Gate as a food? Wait, did I mess up my own rules? I'm sorry, I've just been zoned out lately. Oh my god. What did I say? Fuck. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. What was I supposed to say? Awkward silence. Hello? Runan? Runan?
Quit being a slut.
What the fuck? Great, now I have to censor
It's
that.
too late.
Do you hear me now?
Yes, that
Do you
was
hear me now?
weird. That was weird. You just cut out.
Oh, I was still talking. I could hear you fine as well.
Okay, I'm
And
sorry.
whenever I talked, it showed my icon as if it was picking up my mic.
Yeah. So anyway, what did I say? I say a food, and you try to say what type of anime fits it best. Is that what I said? Alright.
Oh no, what you said was that you'd say the name of a food and we'd try to describe the food is what I thought it was, but it's changed into you saying the name of an anime and us trying to say what food would be representative of it.
Well, now we flip it.
Which, I mean, either one I'm fine with.
Now we flip it. Okay, so I say a food, you say an anime, and then you describe why that anime fits that food. I don't know why I'm doing this. This is just a fucking thing. So anyway,
Okay, then.
A steak.
Did you say a word?
What anime best fits a steak?
He said, no.
What anime best fits a what?
A steak. Like just a big steak.
A big steak?
Yeah, just
probably a basic shonen anime.
Yeah, it's just there. It's just a big fat steak. Then there's just so much, and you're like, "Am I done yet?" And then it's like, "Nope, there's just more steak."
Oh, well, now I know that you're trying to say One Piece.
Hey!
Because you're saying that there's so much of it.
Hey, One Piece is great.
Yeah, One Piece.
You're trying to get someone to say One Piece. Fairy Tail is... From the few episodes I've seen, it's pretty mediocre.
If that's the case, what kind of food would be?
Haven't watched One Piece, though, and I honestly don't plan to watch an anime that lasts longer than my lifespan.
What is the most mediocre food that best represents Fairy Tail? I'm just curious now.
Food that fits Fairy Tail? Probably a bag of off-brand classic potato chips.
It's just potato chips, and that's it. It's just your normal salty potato chips.
No, off-brand potato chips.
Oh, off-brand. All right. What about Soul Eater?
It's like
yeah,
the
off-brand
value potato chips.
I've only watched a couple episodes of it.
Okay, so Soul Eater, something pretty good all the way through, and then at the end becomes stupid.
Yeah, I agree.
What food goes for that? Yeah, grapefruit. Or a cantaloupe.
The best description.
Oh, okay, I'm guessing that you guys... I haven't seen Soul Eater all the way through. I've seen like 3 episodes. They were the first 3 episodes too, so... You know.
The thing
I don't
is,
really
a
know much about it.
a lot of people give Soul Eater hate
the
for the endings. I liked the endings of Soul Eater, honestly. I thought the big mecha battle was
I hated the ending. The ending was such bullshit.
Okay, the only bullshit apart the ending was Maka being all like bravery conquers fear and madness and blah blah blah, and just punched the guy into oblivion. That was like, what? No, like Kid just summoned giant bazooka arms and Black Star had a red sword. Are you saying that none of those super cool attacks are able to defeat the Kishi? What? That was dumb. No, not
Nope,
just a
nope,
punch.
nope. It's gotta be super lame bullshit that does it.
Yeah, just at least have it cool that where she says that that her like I like the fact that she turned out to be she's actually a weapon too, along with the whole she's a Meister. That's actually pretty interesting because her dad's a weapon and her mom was a Meister. That was actually interesting. And I thought that that could have been like something, but it didn't. It wasn't something. It was just there. It's just
Was it just there for flavor and no other purpose?
Maybe, I think. It was just like I
Well,
loved
that sucks.
I feel like Death the Kid was a more viable character than Maka. I feel like he had more character to his character. Like he was interesting, and I liked the episode solely focused on him the most than Black Star. Black Star is good, but Black Star was a bit too annoying for me. And Maka, I just did not like her. I just did not like Maka. She was a good female protagonist, but she wasn't a good character. It was like that for me. Also, can we just talk real quick how weird that the sun and the moon have a face? Why? Do they ever explain why the sun and moon have a
Alright,
face?
you see, that's totally normal. Have you really never looked up into the sky and saw a big ass face looking down on you?
No, I can't say I have.
Come on, dude, that's totally normal.
I can't say that I have that. I've just wandered outside and looked directly at the sun for long periods of time and waiting to see a smiling baby face like the freaking Teletubbies look down on me.
That's completely normal. Just
stare at the sun. That's what you gotta.
just look at the sun for a little while, and you'll start seeing the face. You'll see it.
You'll start seeing the face. Anyway, next is Steins Gate.
Yeah, you'll eventually see it.
What would Steins Gate be? For me, I think Steins Gate would be Steins Gate would be that really weird food that you'd expect no one to eat, but when you try it, it's actually really
complicated enough.
Yes.
So I'm trying to think of some type of food that's complicated enough to the point where it loops from being complex back to being stale.
That feels like a really expensive macaroni and cheese. Like you watch a guy, he like blow torches a giant cheese wheel, these handcrafted spaghetti noodles, and just like it's just mac and cheese. Why is it so complicated? It's just freaking mac and cheese. It's just mac and cheese.
Wait, no. Better. Some bread made from the most expensive wheat in the world.
But in the end, it's just bread. It's just bread.
I've never seen it, so I can't answer anything, but that sounds terrible.
It's basically this guy solves
On my opinion,
travel.
it was pretty interesting at first.
Yeah.
But it was just too complicated and there was too much going on to the point where you couldn't. It's kind of annoying to try and focus on one thing when there's so many different series of events happening at the same time.
Yeah, plus there's like
so you don't really know what the purpose of it is or what they plan on trying to do with it.
So wait a minute,
I tried watching it, but I got bored of it, pretty much is what happened. Only reason I watched as much as I did was because Mafuyushi.
So, quick question: is Steins Gate Zero?
If you remember
I
who
think
that
is what it's called. Is Steins Gate Zero? Is that like the new season or completely different? Because I think it's where he finds the ultimate like time thing. I haven't watched it because I'm not interested, but I think it's like if it's the time zone, it's like it's the place where he doesn't exist. Like he went to a time period where he doesn't exist, and so all these things happen to people that happened to him, and now he's all like, "Crap, this is bad." At least I think. I don't know. I don't watch
All
science
right.
fiction
Well,
shows.
I haven't seen it, so I have no idea.
Yeah.
By the way, what'd you say, Panda?
Nothing. I have not seen it.
Oh, I could have swore I heard you say something after I mentioned Mafuyushi.
Oh, yeah. Who the fuck is Mafuyushi? And then I said titty.
Tutudu girl. Yeah, her.
Right when you said that, for some reason, the image of that girl who did the Nico Nico knee thing popped in my head, and I know that's completely wrong, but that just like popped right there. What?
You know what I just realized?
What?
Isn't it the same voice actor for him? Or not?
I'm not sure, but I do know that two best girls that I've seen have both had like just a 1 or 2 word catchphrase that they say all the time
Are you talking
that
about
has
Nep?
no real meaning.
Are you talking
Like
about Nep?
Tutudu and Nep.
Of course. Why do you love Nep so much? Why do you like Neptune? Like, I'm not...
She is best girl.
Really? Neptune?
You must not question it.
Wasn't she like a motorcycle
okay,
in
girl.
one game?
I stand on
Fight me.
Wasn't she like a motorcycle in one game?
I'm not sure if she was a motorcycle in one game or not, but I want to play the game where she was a motorcycle now.
So you can ride her.
Oh! 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 Nice. Oh, that's a burn. Anyway, next
What's the
is
next topic?
okay. Next is Dragon Ball Super. What do you? Okay, actually no. The entire Dragon Ball franchise. What kind of food would that be?
All right, now you see, I'm trying to think of a food that has way too much and that should have stopped having more after like the first thing was added.
So a
Alright,
buffet.
So
So maybe a
it's an
buffet.
all-you-can-eat buffet,
Yes.
but there's too much shit. You have some good parts, but then there's also that salad or the gross mac and cheese. You don't touch it because you know it's bad.
Yeah, that's a good description.
You gotta admit though, the ending of Super was actually good. I do like the ending of Super. Like, here's the thing with Super for me.
Wait, Super already ended?
You didn't know that it ended like I think last year.
I didn't watch a single episode of Super yet.
I think it ended this year. Actually, no.
I just wasn't interested in I've gotten over Dragon Ball for real.
Yeah. I only watched it for the nostalgia because Dragon Ball was my first anime and I really loved it. Although it was bad in some areas, like repetitive animation, like some boring parts of the story. Like when Toyo,
Oh, you
whatever they're
mean
called.
like how they have 10 episodes for one fight?
No, I'm talking about like how they just reused the same animation clip from the OP in like several episodes in a row. Like I remember seeing that somewhere.
Oh yeah. Oh.
And it's really lazy and sad.
Hmm.
But I have to admit, the ending to Super, the company actually went out and did some good animation for some scenes, and it was actually very good. And it was like, wow, why couldn't you have done this for the entire show?
Wait a second, you mean to tell me that in Dragon Ball Super, the Dragon Ball franchise, one of the biggest anime franchises like ever, pretty much, they started doing bad animation?
Yes! It
Well, no,
was a big
much of a
thing.
budget?
Good animation
It was
most
a
of the way
big
through.
thing.
It's just some of it was not on the same par as a lot of epic fight scenes.
Yeah, it was like
Hmm.
Toyo or Toye, the company that owned it. They didn't care. They didn't care for it, and they didn't put as much effort. They put like secondhand artists and animators from other countries working on it instead of like a full cast. Like it was a big deal. Like the first episodes were horrible looking, and then they had to remake them, and then they were good. But the fact that is that they still did it was sad. And the reason they did it, I heard, was because of money. They didn't want to spend much money on it.
So the thing is, if they'd spent a bunch of money on it right off the bat, then they would have made more money overall.
Yeah, but they were just
Massive
lazy
amounts.
people, and they just wanted to keep the money that they had, and they couldn't care. It's just Toyo, whatever their name is. They're just there. It's sad. So, anyway, next.
I'd say that
Bleach. And don't say Bleach is Bleach. That meme is dead.
But it is.
The
All right,
bleach
then
is
fine.
so
Bleach is a
yummy.
Tide Pod.
Anything that is not considered food does not count. It has to be a food.
But what,
Don't say if it's a food doused in bleach.
what do you mean? Tide Pods are like...
Little Caesars that was left out in the sun.
Actually, the first season that was ever made of Bleach, fresh pizza. And then, after a single day of eating like
as it
one or
aged,
two
it
slices
became
of fresh
worse and
pizza,
worse.
then it was left in the fridge for about a month, and then, that's what it became.
Yeah. Like, and
Oh.
here's the thing, like, there's actually a YouTube group that I really do hope that they do this. They're actually trying to, independently animate the final chapter, the 1,000-Year Blood War, and I loved that arc. That arc was amazing, and I'm really happy that people are trying to animate it. But at the same time, it was sad that they couldn't, like, the full company couldn't do it, because it was a really good arc, and it was the last one, and there was a lot of bad arcs, a lot of arcs that were not in the manga that really, really soured a lot of its potential and greatness, I feel.
My opinion is, the company that made Bleach decided that instead of trying to make a good anime, they would try to make an anime that had more filler than a bowl of rice. And they ended up with only a couple of pieces of actual meat for the rice.
Yeah. So, I think
And it's like, keep in mind, I'm talking about like a big ass cauldron, like a 5-gallon cauldron of rice with like 2 small pieces of chicken.
the chicken wasn't even good chicken. It was that like cheap chicken your mom buys at the store. That's like on sale.
Oh no, the parts that were actually good were pretty
good.
decent.
Like,
it's just that there was so much filler that you wouldn't even notice the good parts.
Yeah, it's the Waco Mundo arc was amazing. The characters and the bad guys.
All right, put it this way.
But it's just...
I have no idea what each arc's name is, and I only watched like 3 seasons.
I think there's only 3 seasons. Wait, did you skip the bounce arc? Please tell me you skipped the bounce arc.
Which one's the balance arc? Huh?
The bounce are basically they're vampires or something.
I don't know which arc is which, dude.
Okay, so you know that guy who has white
said the word
hair
vampire.
and he's like I don't know how to describe him because I didn't watch it. I purposely skipped it, and it was a horrible arc. Everyone told me, and I only knew bits and pieces. It's just like I only knew bits and pieces. It's like I don't know.
If it was the first, second, or third season, then no, I didn't skip it.
I don't know where it fits in though. I don't know where it fits in the arc list. I can't.
Where it fits in? Well, I don't know either because I'm not a part of the fandom really, so I don't know the name of the arcs.
And J Panda left.
I feel like instead of just assigning a random ass name to an arc, people should be more like numerical seasons. Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, instead of Jello arc. Super Saiyan arc.
But it helps
Shit
with like
that.
It helps with the whole categorization than just the numbers because I agree with you on some points, but at the same time, I feel like naming it would help. At the same time, I feel like rabbit. Sorry. What? So,
I just remembered how many episodes the first part of Dragon Ball Z. I just realized how many episodes it took for them to take out Reddits.
6, maybe.
Have you ever thought about how many episodes it took for Reddits to die?
Let me think here. So, episode 1, then 2, and then 3. Did it take 4? How many? Wait, whoa, I'm
Raditz,
trying to think here.
considered one of the weakest characters in Dragon Ball Z.
So, first it was like he came, and then he was all like, "Wow, I'm fighting Piccolo," and blah blah blah, and then it's all like, "Kill these people, and you'll get your son back next time." Then we go there, then it's like some dialogue, then they're gonna start fighting, then they start fighting, and then, did they cut from that? What? And then they fight, and then death, and how many episodes is that? Crud, I can't think of it. Wow.
I know that the actual fight lasted 2 or 3 episodes, and then the rest of there were like 2 or 3 episodes before the actual fight as well. So it's anywhere from like 4 to 6 episodes just to take out Raditz.
Damn. So, I don't know if you know this, but on YouTube there are these things called Dragon Ball fights in real time, where they speed up the fights that say it's going to take this amount of time to actual time. Like the entire tournament arc, the tournament arc of power from Dragon Ball Super, it's supposed to be like, oh, this is an entire, I think, hour or 2-hour fight. And so it's like 50 to maybe 70 episodes long, and one guy took all those clips, put them together in chronological order, sped them up or slowed them down, and it lasted about that time, and it was shocking. It was like, wow, if you think about it, all of that happened, literally everything that happened in those clips simultaneously in that order. Wow, that's actually amazing and shocking.
I mean, your mic cut out a fair bit, but that seems like an interesting YouTube video to watch. How long is the video?
I can't think of it. Maybe it's like an hour or more.
Oh, damn. Well,
yeah.
I guess if there's a moment where I have an hour or more where I have literally nothing better to do, I'll check it out.
Just like life. Anyway, next on the list here. I'm just gonna do this for flavor. Citrus. What do you think that would be?
Citrus, beautifully written anime with a glorious plot that should never be taken lightly when it's when critics view it, because if the critics don't all give it a 5-star out of 5-star rating and mention how amazing, flawless, and stunning of a plot and action it has, then I will be highly disappointed in all the critics.
Yeah, it's the best anime ever, despite how much lesbian incest rape there is. And there's a lot of that.
Technically, it's an adopted sistership, and technically it's an adopted sistership, so it's not really incest. But the rest of it, yeah.
I love how you're like, technically it's not incest.
What
It's not incest, but yes.
I mean, hey, it has a stunning plot. It's the most well-written anime that I've ever seen in my entire life. I gotta point out when someone's opinion is wrong.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Next is have you ever seen Vampire plus Rosaria?
No, I've never seen that one.
So the anime is crap, but the manga is actually pretty decent, and it's pretty interesting. I like the manga. So basically, it's this guy who goes to a monster high school, and he falls in love with this vampire chick who has like a multiple personality disorder thing. One part is a super badass chick who hates everyone, and the other is a super adorable chick who needs protecting. And it's a harem anime and stuff. It's for a harem anime, it's bad.
Okay.
For a harem anime, it's very bad. But for kind of like a light comedy, I think it's interesting. I watched it for like casual stuff, and I thought it was funny. But the manga,
if it's bad compared to most harems, Hold on a second.
I'm not saying it's
That's
bad.
not a good sign.
I'm not saying it's bad compared to most harem animes. I'm just saying it's not a good harem anime, and that can be said about every harem anime that is not Monster Massacre. Monster Massacre is the best harem anime, hands down, and I will fight anyone.
What the hell? Worst thing is, I haven't actually ever watched Monster Musume,
How
so I
dare
can't
you!
disagree or agree with your opinion on it.
It's amazing! Screw you! Hashtag Lamia-chan!
I'm probably never gonna watch it just because of that.
Oh.
Just because of what you just said. I'm never gonna watch it.
Why? There's a lolly. Actually, there's two lollies. There's two lollies.
Okay, and
You're the lolly specialist. You love
why do I
lollies.
care?
That's literally your thing.
Well, it's not specifically I prefer lollies over others. It's that in a fair few cases, compared to the other options, they're the best one.
Okay, let me describe to you the characters. So,
Now,
Lamia-chan is a Lamia.
Now, I mean, is Lisbeth a lolly? Because
Uh,
she's the only good girl in the entirety of SAO.
Who's Lisbeth again? Who the fuck is she?
Silica's trash. Asuna's trash.
Yeah, she's
That
trash.
one chick that tried to say that she was better than Kirito is trash. She might have been better than Kirito as a character. I don't know. I didn't watch that part. But I've seen what she acts like, and I've seen her. So, yeah, she's trash.
Trash.
Like, every single grill in SAO, they try to make it a harem, and they fail.
Yeah, it's just like... So,
If they just kept it as a tragedy anime, it would have been good.
Yeah, it was
But
just
they
like,
went with harem instead.
So here's the joke. Here are the girls.
What'd you say?
Here's the joke. Here are the girls in SAO. Asuna equals chick who could have been but isn't. That one chick who has like a pet dragon. Everyone's favorite token lolly. That chick
one is
with pink.
Silica.
That girl with pink hair, the Smith girl.
Your mic cut out.
That girl with the pink hair, the smithing girl. That one chick.
That is Elizabeth.
She's fine. It's like, okay.
Yeah, like I said, she's the only good girl in SAO.
Yeah, she's like, when talking about SAO, there's only one way you can go with it, unless there's someone who likes it, and then it goes the second way. The one way is, it's bad, and everyone knows it's bad, and the second is, there's one guy who likes it, and everyone's trying to convince him, no, it's bad, you just don't know it, because you're living in a wish fulfillment fantasy.
I'd say that...
I say anything wish fulfillment.
Alright, I'd say
bad.
that most people that say that SAO is a good anime haven't seen that many animes.
Yeah.
Because whenever I first watched SAO, it was whenever I was just starting to watch anime, and I thought it was pretty decent at the time. Because I didn't really look too hard at the plot. I was just, oh look, there's an interesting character. Oh look, a fight scene. Oh, this is cool. But now it's like a damn about the plot of animes, and it's like, dog, what happened? It started well, and then they ruined it.
Yeah. I have to say
it took 3 episodes for them to ruin it.
Yeah, I have to say this. This is literally, people are gonna hate me maybe, but I don't give a crap because SAO fans are probably the worst fans. Oberon is the worst villain, but at the same time, when he was all like, I'm gonna rape Asuna, I was all like, I don't care, go ahead, rape her. I could give less of a care if the mangaka literally went all out and actually illustrate an entire rape scene of her, I could care less, because they downgraded her character, the fairy wind arc was horrible, it was unnecessary, there was no point to it, and the fact that this is like this, oh, it's super bad, we have to save her before she's forcibly act upon. I don't care. That was literally if your writing
Honestly,
is so bad to that point where I just don't care.
I'd
If
say
literally,
that the
go on.
all right, I'd say that arc. I'm assuming it's the one that was right after they got out of SAO.
Yeah,
And then there was that game. I think it was like Fairy Advent or some shit.
it was called
Some fairy game.
Yeah, that was weird. Like, why is there fairies?
Alfheim.
Alfheim.
The arc right after and the normal SAO. And one complete trash. Although that's assuming that SAO isn't complete trash, and that's a wrong assumption. So normally it's complete trash, but compared to the rest of SAO, it's above average compared to the rest of it. But comparing it to other animes that aren't SAO, it has no reason for existing other than for the sake of pissing people who like good anime off.
Yeah. And I just want to say this for a disclaimer, real quick. Anyone who was listening to this,
I mean,
I am not saying I do not care for rape victims. I am just saying if a person writes a character and an arc so bad that that's literally the only threat to a character, and if it's written so poorly and bad, I would not care. That's literally just a thing. If this one major bad thing is about to happen, and if it's written horribly, and if the character it is happening to I do not like, I will not care for it. That is literally a common thing. And that was just a quick disclaimer in case anyone misinterpreted what I said. I'm just saying.
Well, do you know what time it is Central Standard Time right now?
It is like 2:48, and we have been recording for
2:48, you said?
Yeah, it's like we've been recording for 36 seconds. You want to cut it off early, like around 45, 49?
Oh,
It's just
what?
the both of us.
Oh, I'm fine with that. The reason I was asking was because of the fact that I'm posting in Table 14 about what time I'm going to be, or what time and what days I'm going to be doing the campaign on.
Ah, neat. So yeah, anyway.
There we go. I didn't know I was in Central Standard Time Zone.
What about that stupid
No.
movie SAO got that literally it did not deserve? Like, what the heck? What was the purpose of that movie?
Are you talking about that one movie that was like augmented reality or something?
Yeah,
Instead of VR?
That was like... What? I didn't watch it.
Well, I
But
mean,
just by
funny
looking
thing
at
is,
the trailers,
augmented
I could hate it.
reality is developed.
Just by looking at the trailers alone, I already knew that it was going to be bad. Just by looking at the trailers. And I watched a review, and literally, I was right. It's bad. It's just bad.
Alright, put it this way. The SAO video games are pretty bad, but the SAO video games are better compared to other video games than the SAO anime is compared to other animes.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But let me just say this real quick. Fuck, what was I gonna say? I completely forgot, you bastard. Anyway, let's stop talking
I'd say the worst thing about the SAO video game that I played was the fact that there was that really, really awkward romance system that they put in. Like a really uncomfortably awkward romance system.
I completely forgot SAO had a video game. Ugh. That's
I heard that the Gun Gale Online video game is actually fairly good as far as video games in general go. But I don't think it's fairly good or even what I have seen of the video game is worth $60.
It's $60. No way. Anything SAO in the title
I believe
should
there
at least
was
be $5.
All right, I believe that the SAO video games that they've made, there is the Hollow Fragment, I think it is. Then another one that I think it's called Hollow Realization. And then some fucking Alfheim video game that was really bad. I actually tried to play it. I couldn't really do anything in it because the controls were really bad. There's the Gun Gale online game, which I'm not gonna try to play because from what I've heard, it's just another SAO game, except this time it's actually a good video game. And I believe there's one that's mobile.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard of it.
And the only one that I've played that was really decent was Hollow Fragment, but it had a really awkward and cringy romance system that kind of made me want to die.
Yeah. Here's the thing: if you make a game, anime, or something, I'm just saying this is just from my point of view as a person who is currently studying a lot of literature and writing. If you do something where a main system of a game or a story it literally makes the player or reader hate it or like do not care for it, and then it's all like, oh, this is actually very important, and if this affects your entire system, then you've done something wrong. You've literally done something wrong because it just like, I don't understand how a person can mess
Dude,
up
your mic, I think. Okay, never mind.
I don't understand how a person
Oh shit,
could
it
like
cut out again.
I don't understand how a person could mess up something so important to the story or to anything in any media and think it's okay, because if you're messing up the main key factor of something, and this is not for like the whole cringy romance thing, this is just things in general. If you mess something up and that's like the key important thing of it, then why publish it? Because it's so bad just for money? That's like defeating the purpose of the art. It's like, I don't know. I'm getting on a rant here and I'm starting to not know what I'm saying.
Well, you see, the thing is, all right, you see, have you noticed how usually independently written stories or independently made animes or independently made video games, they tend to have more interesting things and are praised much more highly than AAA titles with a publishing company behind them. That's because the fact that the ones that have a publishing company behind them, or a big publishing company, mind you, a couple of small ones are fine, they tend to only care about money and they don't really care about their company's reputation or whether or not it's, considered good.
Yeah.
All they're doing it for is because the fact that they think this could be profitable, therefore we should do it. Which, as a business, is a thing that is fine to do as long as the media you're working with isn't considered a form of art by most people. Now, video games, it's getting to the point where people are starting to say that video games are an art form, which that's a debatable point. I feel like they're getting to the point where they could be, but because of what big publishers are doing, they're making it a lot harder for that to be a valid thing to say. And with anime, I believe that's been considered an art form for a while in other places, but most people who don't watch it would beg to differ strongly. With stories, with animation, if a big company's working on it, they'll treat it like it's just a product and not that it has any and they won't act like it has any artistic merit.
And that's
They'll
the
act
horrible
as if
thing.
it's simply a
Because
product that can't change anything
and that's
or
a
that
horrible
can't be
thing.
considered merited.
Because as a person who really does want to get an art degree and probably become an independent artist, I understand that I do need money to make a profit from my work, but at the same time, I don't want to be abused by a company who just uses my work, doesn't care for it, and just makes profit, and while I make hardly anything. Because there is a lot of time and passion put into things like that really you can see that the creators wanted people to experience. But at the same time, with these companies that want nothing but money, it really harms the piece of work in a way. Like, some games are like, oh, we're gonna add this and this, but then the companies are like, no, you can't. We're not gonna let you because either A, that's not in the budget that we gave you, or B, not C. B, it's not gonna be on the release date that we set for you. It's harmful to like a lot of things, but I don't know. I don't
I'd
know much
say
about that.
a delayed game that is fixed of its bugs can be good.
Yeah, because that
but
means that they fixed it.
A rushed game that's fixed later is always going to be thought of as bad.
Yeah, that's like no.
Like people, even though they're fixing No Man's Sky's problems and they're delivering on a lot of the promises, people still think of No Man's Sky as a bad game.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm sure that if they delayed the release and put in all the features that they promised and fixed a bunch of the bugs, people would have thought of it as a good game that was delayed a bit.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Kingdom Hearts 3. The reason it's been delayed so much is because the creators, Tetsuya Nomura, I think, they're putting a lot into it. If you look at those trailers, there is a lot. They're adding so much to each world. Each world is huge with a different variety, detail, effects, and they're focusing a lot on the story. And there is just a lot of time and passion being put into this. And of course, it hurts that they're delaying the game. But at the same time, the reason they're delaying it is because they want it to be great. They want Kingdom Hearts 3 to be the best Kingdom Hearts game there is yet. And that's why I will be glad, but at the same time sad if it does get delayed again, because that means, hey, I'm sorry that we really have been promising this to come out in January 2019, but if you just wait till 2000 not 18, this is 2018, that's 2019, right? So if
I'd say that if they delay it an entire year,
no.
Oh yeah, by the way, if they release it next January, it'll be January 2019.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just saying, if they say we're going to delay it till August 19th, and I would be like, I'm sad, that makes me hurt, but at the same time, I know that they're going to be, the reason they're doing it is to add more and to fix it. That's the best thing. To have a perfect art form than a delayed art form, I think. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. What I'm trying to convey.
Or you mean a rushed one, whenever you say delayed.
Yeah, so a delayed form of art could probably be better than a rushed one, because a delayed meaning they can fix it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's like,
I know.
That's probably
I know.
the best.
That's kind of what I was saying about the No Man's Sky thing whenever I brought that up.
Yeah.
It's like it had so much potential, but because they set a release date whenever they weren't anywhere near done, and the publisher was like, oh, you just set a release date. You do realize what that means, don't you?
Yeah.
And that caused for them to have to release it before they were really done with the game.
Yeah.
Either that, or they needed funding in the middle of the development, so they just had to release it before they were done for the sake of getting funding, whereas instead of that, they could have had a pre-release, kind of.
And that's sad.
Kind of like a lot of early access games do.
Yeah. Games
except,
that,
you know,
and this is scary.
Seems to be.
If a big game comes out and there's no practice games, if there have been trailers, but there's no like, hey, test our game out for the beta, then that's scary because you don't know what's gonna happen. That's the scariest thing.
Yeah. I don't pre-order games very often. The only game I can think of that I pre-ordered, I believe that I pre-ordered Dark Souls 3 a week before it released. Just so that I would get the pre-order bonuses, because like if they were gonna delay it, they would have already delayed it by then.
Yeah.
And I believe that actually that's the only game I pre-ordered.
Are you going to get Shikiro Shadows Die Twice Ninja Dark Souls? I mean, I want to get Ninja Dark. Shikiro Shadows Die Twice, the new game by FromSoft. People are calling it Ninja Dark Souls.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
It's coming out. It's like
if it's Ninja Dark Souls, that sounds like it's gonna be pretty damn fun.
Yeah, dude. There's a jumping mechanic and a grappling hook system.
That seems like it's gonna be pretty damn fun.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we're gonna.
But I don't know if it'll be as mindlessly fun as Bloodborne's PvP, though.
Yeah.
Because Bloodborne's PvP is.
I wanted a Bloodborne 2. Bloodborne 2. Anyway, It's been about 49, almost 50 minutes. So we're gonna end it here because it's just the two of us, not many other people. Thank you guys for listening, watching, whatever. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this much more serious talk than normal. This was a bit more serious, right, Runon? Like Rooney-san?
Well, I mean, it's because normally if I'm the only one in a podcast with someone else, then I'll actually stay on topic a bit more firmly than I would if there's other people as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we should be doing that. We're not just gonna have like mindless talking fun. We could also talk about serious things. And I feel like I'm gonna change the name from Anime Talk to Let's Talk because I feel like that's just holding us back. Maybe we could just talk about old things like video games and stuff because we're obviously not up to date with anime stuff. We're talking about old things and things like that.
I mean, honestly, I'm not up to date with very much media. I don't really keep tabs on what new games are coming out or what new movies or what new animes are coming out. I just watch what I like and play what I like.
Yeah.
So if there's something that looks like something I like, then I'll be like, I should check that out.
Yeah.
But I don't search for new things because of how much stuff I've already got.
Yeah. I think that's laziness.
Like there's too much.
Anyway.
No, I haven't finished watching Kodaha Zombie Desuka. I haven't finished watching Serial Experiments Lane. I haven't finished watching. There's so many animes I haven't finished watching that if I were to start looking for new animes to watch, then I wouldn't be able to finish any of them.
Fair.
And same with video games. Like, there's so many games that I'm not quite done with.
I have Lord of the Rings Shadow of War or Mordor, whatever it's called, the second one, and Neo. I haven't even finished both of those, and I'm replaying Dark Souls 2 when I could be playing those. It's just like, I don't know, I just feel like they're just going to be very repetitive. I do want to finish Neo, though, because I have been enjoying that, although, as much as the bullcrap I have been experiencing. Man, I just want to vent real quick. Neo, the first
like
boss.
It's a fun game, but it could have been a lot better if there was live PvP.
Yeah, the first boss in Neo, the one that you fight on a boat, that hitbox is bullcrap. Like, it picks up the balls and it's gonna throw it, and I'm like, oh, I'm near its right, it can't hit me because it's throwing with its left hand. It just, like, he throws forward and it just comes straight towards me and takes, like, half my health. That is rage-inducing. Like, come on. That's dumb. Anyway, thank you guys for listening,
I mean,
watching,
I haven't really had problems.
whatever, so, till next time or whatever. I don't know when I'm gonna upload this. Maybe tonight. I don't know. Bye.